let me tell you people something out there. You know what's funny? I'm all about like the independent person, right? I'm talking about the independent man or woman who just, you know, is like, look, you know what? Everybody can do what they want, but I'm going to do what I want. And if it means taking less money in order to have more freedom, you know, if it means having less money to take more freedom and take more control of your life, I'd rather do that. So, you know, as a fighter, I never signed with a promoter. I signed with Don King because my uncle's a big dog back home in Nigeria. And he got me to sign with Don King, and I was always against it. I had already been in the game a couple of years before I signed with Don King, and I realized as soon as I signed with him, I felt controlled. No one wanted to put me on their shows, and Don wasn't putting me on his shows. So it was like 6 months went by, and I didn't get one fight, and like 3 shows had passed. And I didn't get to fight on those shows because they were like, nah, bro, we heard you were King. So I told my uncle, yo, you better get me out of this contract because I feel it already, pressure. And after that, I never ever signed with a promoter. I never signed with a manager. When I made my movie, people were like, yo, what'd you do with your money? You know, we heard you made, you know, $1 million, or we heard you made some money, you know? I was like, dude, mind your business. I took $1 million and I made a feature film, you know? That's what I did with my money. And at the end of the day, I can say that I'm a film producer. I can say that I'm an executive. I can say that I'm an actor. I can say that I'm a writer. And I was even directing on the set. And anyone who did that film with me, aka Al Snow, can tell you, I was given a lot of direction on that set. You know why? Because independence. Now, I said, all right, you know what? Networks. I love TV, but I hate the fucking networks because they always use the same people. It's very political. And you really want to know why I hate them? Because they're not using my black ass. I want to be on the fucking networks, just like anyone else. Let me not tell you that I hate the networks. I love the networks and I want network money. But guess what? If you're not going to put me on your network, then I'm going to make my own network and I'm going to put myself on the network because I'm tired of watching people get famous and they have no reason to be famous. Meanwhile, you know, if you can be famous and you don't have a reason to be famous, well then I have at least a little bit of a reason that I could try to be famous or at least interesting to others. You know, everybody in the world cried when this fucking guy put his fucking head in the fucking crocodile's mouth and then got stung by a fucking deadly whatever it was that killed his ass. And that was my nigga, God rest his soul. But guess what? All he did was do dangerous shit with animals. He never actually, there was never anything more to it than he was just a daredevil or like an animal trainer. Wow. At the end of the day, he got famous for being a, what was it? What was his niche? What was he famous for?
Crocodile hunter.
What was he famous for? For being a daredevil with animals, or what was it that he was famous for? No, because he was cool. Steve Irwin, rest in peace. I watched him and I liked him, but I never actually knew what he was about. Like, you know, I knew that, okay, today I'm gonna wrestle a snake.
He's a zoologist.
And is that so?
Yep.
And what exactly does that do?
He was a scientist, dealt with animals, and he was also the head of a zoo in Australia.
So you understand? So that was his niche. You know what I mean? He had some interesting shit. And the thing is, I look at people like that and I go, wow, this guy was a self-made dude. He was a zoologist. I bet you there's a mad zoologist out there in the world. They not like him. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I'm an independent guy. PunchinPatTV.com. Now, who's gonna come and tell me that my show needs to be censored or shortened, or, you know, we're not black enough, we're not white enough? Who's gonna come tell me that without sparring 3 rounds after the conversation?
Window down pat.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm serious.